Hello, goddesses. Welcome to Goddesses Well Lab. My name is Jasmine, and in today's video, or sorry, episode, we're going to talk about the emotional side of starting a business. And the ones that I'm going to mention today, some of them still kind of shakes my nervous systems from time to time, and that's because that's how businesses are. It's everlasting changes and looking forward for new challenges and new things will come up. So don't think that these ones is going to get rid of automatically from your system whenever um, you will continue with your business. So, with that being said, let's start with the ones that I had when I started. As you know, I have businesses since my teenager years, and they still come up sometimes from time to time, but I take it as a learning experience. So, hopefully, this episode will help you to not only look at it to say, oh, I see what I have, I get it, but let's move on with continuing with my goals and dreams, my dream job. So let's continue, and let's start with the a very big one that I have from the beginning, which is I'm not a tech person or a technique person. For those that have experience with this, God bless you, and I can see that you already have half of the things that needs to be taken in your online business. Um, but as you know, the online world and technology changes every single day. So what used to be making I remember at the beginning there was no chat GPT. So we were doing our content, our emails, our information from scratch. The same thing goes with even podcasts. I don't think that we had podcasts in that time. I'm assuming yes, but I was not aware of them or think that somebody will need to have a podcast in their business. But that gives you an idea. But the best part about all this technology struggles, or since they have uh, evolved so much that you don't have an excuse to not learning a new task. For instance, chat gpt can give you recipes for everything. You were able to even see online videos like in YouTube, not only ChatGPT, but there is someone, for instance, that will know what you need, and you're able to reach for help. So you really do not have that problem anymore. I know that it's going to take a little bit to learn exactly how you want it, but it's possible, especially now. And now with all this technology and tools, tech tools that will take care of that from you. And God knows that one of the one of the things that I'm hoping is that one day I will be able to give it to somebody else. So I focus on my craftings, my what I do best. So yeah, that was number one. Number two is fear of failing. This is a very good one because I can feel it when I started it, but not much of failing. I always go with the mind that I don't have a choice. Failing is not a choice. I'm going to maybe fall sometimes. It will not sell good at the beginning, but failing is not an option in my mind. That's how I have opened many businesses. I will feel that it's successful because of that, because I believe that that I can succeed in any business that I can open. And that goes with all of the businesses that I open. I did not go in a business thinking that I'm going to fail. That's will be basically knocked out of my head by my mother or my grandmother, even in school. I'm not going to go to for instance, I will not go to a test thinking that I'm going to fail. Otherwise, I need to work on my a mindset. And you should consider thinking what's going on, why I think that it can be a failure if I start a business. And that goes with the money mindset as well, because if you feel that you're going to fail, there's something more than just that feeling. Um, so I always look when those negative fears or thoughts come up, the why, where that come from. Is it come from my previous jobs or my previous business adventure? So that will be something that um, an internal work for everybody. But nowadays, it's impossible to be a failure in the online business. Why I say this? There are about 8 billion people in this earth. Online, there I think was 5 billion. So there's no way in heaven, if you do everything like being visible, have a strategy, and do it with passion, that someone is not going to want your product or your services. There are, like I said, 8 billion individuals in this world. They will probably want even more of that. They've been waiting for you to come so they can move forward or solve their problems immediately. So that is the fear of failing, that we will always go through that feeling regardless how long you have your business, for sure. And also it can come from the feeling or fear of sunk cost. In the past, you probably fail or have this much of inventory in the past for selling, and you were not able to sell it in that time. So just because you have already invested in so much in this business, then you will think that it's not possible to do it again and start over again. I give you an exact example. In the past, I actually started my Mary Kay business, and literally I bought I don't know how much inventory at one point. It was I mean, I'm not going to tell you the numbers because I was feeling really guilty that I spent this much money on inventory and I was not able to sell it. But at the end, I say I apologize. I recognize my mistake or my whatever it was, and just move forward. And what I did is just resell it to somebody else, another Mary Kay consultant, and that's it. I mean, like my grandmother said, everything has a solution. You just have to look for it, except death. She used to say that. But anyways, another big one, and this is from a corporate woman myself, is definitely the fear of judgment. That fear of what will people think? Why what my friends, family, the Bobs and the Marys and at work will think that I have a business. Luckily for me, all my members of my family had a side business of themselves, so they know how it is to start a business. They know how to have something on the side all the time. I remember my father at one point even had a bonsai business. My mother, the same thing. We were all entrepreneurs at one point and continue to be entrepreneurs. Even if you have um uh a another business that will always have, or sorry, if you have a career like myself, I'm an accountant, but I always have something on the side. I even did at one point, when I was living in Thailand for about 3 months, and in the moment I was like, what can I do to have extra income so I'm able to do the things that I would like to do here in Thailand? And I started doing tutoring for Spanish and math because it was a need online. So I did that for a little when I was in Thailand, and I continued to do it. I did the tutoring for many years after that. So you see, um, another thing that my mother will say, for instance, is if that person is paying for your bills, paying for your housing, maybe that will be a reason for you to worry about what they think about how you're spending your money, or you're investing yourself, or whatever. But other than that, there should be no reason for you to worry about their feelings about your business. It is your business at the end of the day. It is your life that you need to live yourself. Nobody's going to live your life like you do. Um, and you don't know what their own fears they have of a woman open an account. I'm sorry, open a business. So sometimes it's not just um, being judgmental themselves for being judgmental. It's because they have real fears of in them, and it's totally natural because my mother used to say that too. You're not an empanada, meaning you're not going to everybody's going to like you. You know, everybody's going to, or Nutella. You're not a jar of Nutella. Nobody's going to, not the entire world is going to love you. There's always going to be opinions, pro and cons of your decisions. So you just have to thank them for thinking of you. Obviously, most of the time, those part of the judgments is judgment because they left it. They have their own fears. They have their own experience, and is a reflection of themselves, not about you at all. So yeah, think about that in any area of your life. Whenever you hear judgment coming from your family because you, I don't know, change your color of your hair, there is always going to be that. So moving on, another one that is really real for women all over the world, and it's because of fear of investing in yourself. I come from a family of educators. We will make sure that we will get our education, but there's some women and they do not have education, and that emphasis in education and learning and coaching themselves and to exactly investing in themselves is so foreigner because you did not see it in your life growing up. or growing up with a mom too. Sometimes it comes from generations to here. Um, yes, we all have education in my family, but when I entered to my master's, for instance, that will be a little bit of a different story because not many women in my family will have a master degree. So I can see how some of my I remember when I was going to start my masters, there will be family members saying, "Why would you need your masters? I mean, you're fine with your bachelor's. Why grow? There's no need as long as you have education and that's it." But it was not because of all of them fear, it's because of their own experience and their reflection of what they live in their life. Um, so, and just to think for investing in you instead of your family or your kids was it's a huge challenge that many women goes through every day, putting themselves first before their family. Is not very common, or not, it's not very common. It is very common, but what I'm trying to say, people will look at it as selfish because why you will prefer to, you know, go with a bigger education like myself, like the example that I give you, my master's, if you already, when you can put it to your towards something else, open a business or whatever it is. So I can totally relate, but at the same time, again, it goes back to you have to live your life because nobody's going to live it but you. So investing in yourself is investing to get ahead, to get a better position in the company you work for, or your mental health. For instance, for many, having your nails done every month seems so, I guess, egocentric or very superficial. But for me, it's not that. It's something that I invested to feel good for myself and look presentable, not only at work, but in my business. So that's something to think about. And at the end of the day, the only way to grow confidence is really with doing it. As you can see, for instance, my fears of on to be presentable or to present myself to the world has improved so much. If you hear my first videos online, you will see a scared, really frightening girl. And I still do. I still stumble. I still, feel not 100% confident, but I decided to just move forward. And because I know that someone also feel uncomfortable to, for instance, be online and things like that. And they got better and they're now awesome at it. So, yes, my goddess, if you feeling scared right now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't start. I think you should start even before you're 100% ready. And let's be honest, there's no way you can be 100% ready. There's always going to be an area of your business, of your in the world of business that you haven't done before. Even though you did it in your corporate job in a supported way, but not completely, then you will know that You cannot just wait until you're 100% ready. I heard a study that um, recently, no, this is recently, I mean, a couple years ago, that women, for instance, do not apply, 80% of women do not apply to a position until they're more than 80% ready in their mind, versus men, they just wait to have at least only about 50 to 60%. So that tells you that for us it's a real struggle. The feeling, those fears are real. It's not just somebody talk about it, but it's ingrained in our subconscious beliefs, because not only, like I said, past experience, but also um, the community around you. So I hope this help you to see that, again, like my grandmother said, everything have a solution, and you are going to be able to move forward of all of them. So fears, like I mentioned in the past also, is a reality that it haven't happened yet. It's just there because of your past experience, your thoughts. We have about 20,000 thoughts, if I'm not mistaken, a day, but the majority of them are from past experience, past points of view, past feelings about things, or the things that you think you know. Um, so do not pay attention that much. You can recognize that. I'm not saying not to recognize it, unless you're actually fear of, is your life is in danger. But other than that, those fears usually are not real. So or will become real. It's just in your head. It's just um like I said, experiences from the past. Those thoughts, they will come and recycle all over again. That's why, for instance, affirmation words are so important, because when you start changing how you feel or how you think about it, you will start moving forward easily, because you don't think it that is negative anymore. All right, I hope this was in service to you, and see where you have those fears. In my mind, um, those fears actually put me into where I am right now. I thank them. I say thank you. I'm not going to paralyze myself. I'm just going to move forward for those. And at the end, I thought that it was actually very honorable that I have those and I move forward. I was very proud of myself every time. And the best part, you don't know who is watching. My mother, for instance, yes, or my father, everybody, after they see me doing something that I move forward into something, they get inspired. And you don't know who is watching you. You don't know the ideal client or the customer that been looking for that for so long, and you think that um, is not perfect enough. It is perfect for someone. It is perfect for your ideal client. So, with that and so much love, I will go, and I hope you have a wonderful time exploring those fears, like I mentioned before, and move forward. All right. Well, thank you, and I hope you have a